everyone. Welcome to 5 More Minutes, the show where two friends relive their childhoods or, in some cases, learn about everything they missed out on. I'm Kendra.
And I'm Scott. I'll do the point as well because I guess that's what we're doing today.
Yeah. I think that I forgot to think of a joke, so I guess maybe we'll skip that part for today.
I can pull out my tried and true, always funny joke.
Oh, okay.
A baby seal walks into a club. That's
okay.
It. Do you get it?
Baby seal. Seals don't walk?
It's a joke on like the poaching of seals because they club baby seals over the head.
Oh. Are you sure that's funny?
No, it's not funny at all. That's just whenever anyone's like, tell me a joke, that's what I say. And they're like, oh, I won't ask you to do that again. So
I
good.
see. I was just confused. I thought I was thinking too logically about it.
Yes.
Yeah, because seals like waddle kind of,
Yeah, they flop about.
My favorite seal is Gerald from Finding Dory.
Oh, right. My favorite seal is Seal, like the musician.
Okay. That's two different spectrums. Mm-hmm. And I don't know who that is, but
Kiss from a Rose. He's the one that sings that.
Maybe, I don't know. I don't really listen to rock that much.
So. It's not really rock.
Well, what is it?
I don't know. Like, what would you call that? Like,
I don't know, man.
Alternative?
Well, I listen to like alt rock and stuff, like, because like that, like punk rock, like I listen to that stuff. Lately, I haven't really been listening to music, which is very anti-Kendra because I have 3 music tattoos, but
it's classified as R&B/soul.
Oh, that's kind of what John Mayer is classified as, but R&B and pop.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Anyway, now you know all about a couple of seals.
Yeah. Wow. That took a dark turn.
I don't know what you're talking
about. Okay. I guess we could do quick things. Talk about quick things.
Quick things. Well, we watched Eclipse after you left when we were hanging out. So
yeah,
that movie. I don't know if I had ever seen it before.
Yeah, I mean, I have. We went and saw the first one in theaters, right? Was that the first one that we went
and saw? Yeah.
We were super cool kids in high school. We went to the midnight premiere,
and back when there was still midnight premiere.
I don't know if Jackie drew on your arm, but she definitely drew the book cover on my arm.
She drew on my shirt. She like painted me a shirt.
It was a dark time.
Yeah. But it was what was in.
And we live in Washington, so I feel like it was like extra, in for us, if you will.
They're like, wow, someone made a story in Washington? What?
Yeah. Wild,
Wild. But boy, that movie, pretty rough.
They're not the best. I mean, the books aren't really good either.
No, after you go back and like look at them after you read them, you're like,
Or after you read like things that are actually good because you have a master's degree in English,
Yeah, I suppose that would be true too. You have a little bit more to compare to.
Compared to these books that I have right here. Very different, I will say.
Right. Yeah.
I've been working on my dice and using my printer this weekend.
Nice.
I reprinted some things. Hopefully my molds turn out because sometimes if you don't let it degas, it causes cure inhibition with the silicone. But last time I did this, I literally printed something and used it the same day with the same resin, except it was translucent or like normal clear instead of clear blue, but the same brand and everything. So I'll find out when we're done recording this if my molds turned out or not.
Oh, cool.
There's also been an issue with the silicone because of supply chain demands,
Yeah, it's just hard to get things.
They changed an ingredient, so my last molds weren't as durable as they normally are, and the numbers started to wear out. And then now it's like hit or miss. Like some batches are good and some batches aren't.
Well, that's no bueno for quality control.
I know, because my other molds, I didn't make that many sets and they should have lasted longer and they were getting all messed up.
Yeah.
How dare they,
How dare they indeed.
Yeah.
I finally got a printer that maybe will work.
Yeah. And maybe one day I'll be able to get a normal 3D printer so that I can print like big things or more functional things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I really
All the
need to
arts.
step up my work on your birthday present that I decided to make because I don't know. I make bad choices.
Get in a little over your head.
Yeah, it's my fault though. I mean, to be fair though, with last year's birthday present, I did start like over 2 months before your birthday and it was still 2 months late. We shouldn't have that problem this time.
Oh, okay.
It's not the same size.
That's probably good.
Yes. Yeah.
Origin in charge.
Yeah. It would have been better if I had had a normal filament 3D printer though, because I could have just printed that base as like one piece, you know?
True.
Yeah.
True.
Because that was what really did me in.
Yeah.
That was like
Kendra.
11 pieces or 8. I don't know, 8 to 10 pieces I had to glue together.
That was crazy. Kendra made me a giant cloud from Final Fantasy VII. He's got like a full landscape and little other figures and a Shiva behind him. It's pretty crazy.
That also took me 3 times because I didn't like the way I was painting it, and I just reprinted it instead of painting over it.
Sometimes you just
I think I
start
printed
over,
like every piece of that twice at least. Yeah,
because
I reprinted Cloud too because I was it was also like right after I got my printer, so I was still trying to figure out like all the settings and stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm gonna have to start doing. It's all I finished putting it together last night while we watched our great movie, or I started it, and so now I just need to power it up, level the bed, and then I guess figure out how to do a test print.
Benchy.
Yep. So that should be fun. I'm hopeful. This one didn't come like totally damaged.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure your room is warm enough and stuff.
Yeah, how warm is it supposed to be?
I don't know for those. Mine's supposed to be around 70. The one good thing is that all the upstairs rooms in this place have separate like thermostats, so I can turn the heat up to just like 72 in this room just for an hour before I start, and then while I'm printing, and then I don't have to leave like a space heater on all day and stuff, so that's nice.
Yeah, this room should be like 67, 68. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeehaw, man.
Yeah.
This week, we did a movie last week, but that was an unusual week. But this is the true last Thursday of the month of February.
Oh yeah.
And so we are gonna talk about Dudes and Dragons, if that wasn't evident from the image that is behind me, if you are one of our 4 YouTube viewers who is not me.
Yeah. Check it out.
A couple last month or whenever we were talking about Dragonlance, one of the reviews said something along the lines of why do D&D movies never work out, or like why are they always bad or whatever?
And why are they always like, suffer from lack of imagination?
Yeah, but although this movie, there is some confusion about whether or not it's supposed to be a parody. And I think maybe the creators didn't know what type of movie they wanted to make. And so we're just left wondering.
I feel like it's got to be some form of parody. Definitely sections of it are.
Well, the original name was supposed to be Dragon Warriors. And they do have some like big name actors. And I read this review that said the film, let's see, it started out as the far more anonymous Dragon Warriors, but was retitled Dudes and Dragons for commercial release. With it, Nelson and Shimmick, those are the directors and writers, are taking on the epic fantasy film as patented by Peter Jackson in the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit trilogies. The film has an oddness of tone where you are not entirely sure if it was conceived as a comedy parody at the outset, or they realized it was so bad they started not taking it seriously. Or perhaps more likely, fanish enthusiasm got carried away and they started clowning around on set, and when it came to editing, felt unable to cut all the precious bits out. Which I guess if you go from the title of Dragon Warriors, which sounds really legit, to the title Dudes and Dragons, maybe their original vision was not comedy, and that's just kind of what they ended up making it.
Yeah, that's true. Because that opening scene, it's hard to believe that was something they took seriously.
And So this movie was actually crowdfunded.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and the budget was $216,000.
Okay, that's
Which is
not
the CGI
bad.
is like not bad. Like some of it's kind of weird, but compared to some of the other stuff, like the dragon looked okay and all
Yeah,
that sort of stuff. So I mean, I don't know.
the first dragon, like the smaller one, when they're doing like the film intro, that one looks pretty rough, but the second one looks a little better.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, kind of well, just a brief synopsis, I guess. It's a 2015 fantasy action and or comedy film where when Lord Tensley, a powerful wizard, is jilted by Princess Enegard. Is that how they're saying that? Enogard? He sends his dragon to destroy any sign of affection. As the death toll rises, Ramachus is lured into a quest to slay the dragon and defeat the wizard. So essentially, this dragon attacks and kills anyone who's showing affection without performing a ritual, like to allow them to be married. Kind of, that was the general.
Yeah, like it was just like couples in love is what they kept saying.
Yeah, if people were like um, kissing or whatever, it would just like
Mhm.
swoop out of the air and like blow fire.
Destroy.
Yeah, and I don't know if you noticed this, but did you notice the Yoda quote?
I did. I did
Yeah,
notice.
do or
It's
do not.
love. Yeah,
Yeah,
do or do not. There's no try. I
yeah.
was like, okay, weird spot.
Other weird thing was I don't remember which one said it to the orc, but was like, why don't you learn to speak English like the rest of us? And I was like, in what fantasy world is the language English?
Yeah, yeah. Well, that was definitely, you could tell they threw like a bunch of like modern type jokes in there.
Yeah, which is why I think maybe they ended up making it into a parody or is part of that aspect of it, I
Yeah,
guess.
for sure. And I mean, like that. So, okay. So when it opens up, I was texting Kendra because the first like 3 or 4 minutes of this movie are
Mhm.
like insane. Basically, this
Insane in the
random
membrane.
membrane. There you go. Yeah. But basically, it starts with these bounty hunters and they're going to like save this sacrificial virgin. I guess the town is just sacrificing them. Never explains why.
I'm
Um,
assuming it's supposed to help try to keep them safe or something.
I guess. So this bounty hunter comes and like kills this little dragon. But the way that they do it, like that dragon is terribly animated. It's 3D, but you know, they did their best. But he was doing like matrix flips and like slow motion stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And like the thing where he's just like slow motion with the sword coming at him, and then it like doesn't show him kill it because that would probably cost too much to animate.
Yeah, I
Um,
did read a thing that was like his sword after that is clean, like he just killed the dragon and it's
oh
like a
yeah, for sure. And then he comically goes to save the virgin, which he quoted. What was it? Sacrificial virgins need love too. He gives her a big old smooch, and then because he was showing affection, another bigger dragon shows up and kills her.
Mm-hmm.
And the because the dragon like flew away, and he was like comically running fast on that mountain. Like, how would you ever catch a dragon flying
Mm-hmm.
running? But
I
he
wanna
did.
I wanna show you something that I had
Okay.
pulled up specifically because of this. I'm gonna screen share.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we're gonna watch this clip. Okay.
Okay. Baywatch Remastered is what it's called.
Okay, we just saw Yasmine Bleeth
Yasmine Bleeth. She's
running.
running on the beach.
Yeah, getting her Yasmine.
The Baywatch strut.
Oh yeah. Okay, now we're gonna watch this scene.
Oh, okay. Now what do we got? Oh. Yeah. It's like the main ish character guy just running slow.
Well, that's like
motion.
bad quality.
Yeah, it
Hopefully
is,
this
but
isn't making my sound messed up. But anyways, that was all I could think of when I saw him running
yeah.
was Baywatch, because in Friends there's like a whole thing about Yasmine Bleeth, and so I think it was like fresh in my mind because I'm always watching that. But I just it's very much a Baywatch run.
Yeah, but like this first bounty hunter, I don't know. He like super speed, he flashes up the mountain, and then the big joke of that is he goes to like slay this dragon and he does like the same little pose to like kill it, and then he just gets eaten. And that is just like the intro to the movie. You're just like, what are we what are we watching here?
Yeah. It's wild, man.
Mm-hmm. And the slow motion stuff, I noticed they did a lot of that, like the slow motion frames.
Because it's
And that
kind of
was
slow motion when he's running just there in that clip too, a little bit.
But like the fights where they do like the slow motion pan, that is very like 300. That is like exactly what 300 did. And I don't know if you caught it, but there is a line drop from 300 too, because they're like arguing about where to make camp, and the place that he wants to stay is called Gel. So Ramicus is like, tonight we dine in Gel instead of
to
hell.
be honest, in the first like half that I watched yesterday, I think that I was having a really hard time because I was like, what did I pick to watch? What is going on? Like, I wasn't even on my computer or my phone, and I think I needed to be. Like, I think that was the moment where I needed something to be doing. Because today I watched the second half while I made the notes, and I was like paying attention better. But boy,
and then they were doing like slow motion eating, and food was just like blasting out of their mouth. I mean,
I eat in slow motion.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it was like, okay, this has to be like a parody movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just, it was funny though. It had some funny spots.
Yeah. I mean, it does have a couple like famous people. So the writers and directors weren't really like, they've at least one of them, McLean Nelson, who also plays that blonde-haired guy, Camelon or whatever. The first thing he directed was Vamp U, like the Vampire University thing or whatever. I think so. I guess people like in some of the like the thing where I got that quote from about the budget and how it might be a parody. Said that was like a hopeful thing because that was like a decent movie, I guess. And then the other guy, Steven or Stephen Shimmick, didn't really have like anything recognizable really for but we did have James Marsters. Is that how you say his name?
I think so.
Playing Lord Kensley. And he's been in a lot of stuff. He was in Buffy. And he's Lord Piccolo in a lot of Dragon Ball stuff.
Oh, so like the original Piccolo.
Nice. But Buffy, I think, is what he's like most known for. He was one of the main guy, Spike or something. I don't know. Megan watched it all the time, so. But yeah. Caitlin Doubleday plays Lady Enogard. She had a bunch of like small roles and was her like first movie was Catch Me If You Can.
Oh, okay. I recognize the Doubleday part of her name. I just wasn't sure.
Yeah. Although I feel like there's other people named that.
Well, I mean, Abner Doubleday invented baseball, so there's always that.
You think she's related to him?
Who knows?
Then Luke Perry plays Loresh.
Oh, he's the bounty hunter that dies in the first 4 minutes. Yeah.
But he's like a big name guy too. He's in like Riverdale, 90210, all that sort of stuff. So it's like weird that that's like how I wrote his name down. So it's also weird that he dies at the beginning.
Yeah, he's like not in the movie at all, really.
And then Adam Johnson is a really famous person, but he hasn't really been in that much stuff that I feel like I watched.
Yeah.
But he's been in like a lot of stuff, and that's Ramicus.
He looked familiar. He looked the most familiar to me, I think.
I think he had like almost 100 acting credits or something. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Okay.
And then Claire Niederprum plays the other lady.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name. I forgot to write it down, I guess. But she didn't really have a lot of acting history. Like 12 things or something, so not very much.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on though. I kind of didn't like that the orc just didn't really talk.
Yeah. He didn't know English. I mean, give the guy a break.
Yeah, but like there were no like, I don't know, subtitles. It was just like the other guys like responding to.
Yeah. Well, I think they were really trying to make him like Chewbacca. So they were just like, okay, we got one guy that can translate, but he literally can't speak. So
I liked it when him and that other guy were pretending to be like in love or whatever to attract the dragon.
Yeah. So at one point they're trying to attract this dragon to come because they want to capture it. essentially, I guess maybe we start a little more at the beginning,
Yeah.
but our main flowy haired dude,
Camelon.
however you say his name, he has an elven like girl he wants to get married to, like a
But they don't
fiance.
approve.
Mm-hmm. And I can't really. This was the part I was confused on. Like, I don't really recall the reason that they went to his brother's place in the first place. Were they just trying to get his help to like go win her over?
I think this was during where I was like having a hard time focusing.
Mm-hmm.
It's very similar to Dune in the way that I was like, I can't until I kind of realized that it was supposed to be funny, and then I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, basically, he wants to marry this elf, and then he goes to his brother Ramicus for help with his little servant Samton. And then basically at that time, they just conveniently get this quest from the weird little like witch. But basically, he goes along with his brother to help him with this engagement. And then along the way, the girl he wants to get engaged to gets hurt by this dragon because they were showing too much affection. And then now their whole quest is to capture the dragon to get a talon, so like this potion master can save her. Yeah, there's our dragon right there. But back to what we were talking about, at one point they want to lure it to capture it so that they can get it, and they make Samton and the orc Shockter to like pretend that they're in love in this field. And basically they did like a whole bunch of dancing, and they like did things from the Titanic, like the front of the bow thing.
The music playing, just really, I mean, I know the dragon couldn't hear the music, but it really added to the moment.
Yeah, but I mean, that was far enough in the movie. You were kind of already like, okay, this movie is ridiculous.
I honestly think that that's the scene that made me start paying attention more.
Yeah. Well, I will say, so when I first started paying attention, it was like right after he went to get Ramicus, his brother. And one of the things that Camelon does is he talks like, how prim and proper, he's like old school. And I knew it wasn't a serious movie when Ramicus like pulled the assistant to the side, and he's like, when did he start talking like that? Like, he's like, how long has he been doing this?
Honestly, this morning I probably should have just started it over, because I didn't even realize that they were brothers until the end of the movie.
Wow. So Kendra was pretty checked out, I guess.
Yeah, I was trying. I just was like, what is going on here? And also, when does this scene happen? Because I thought this image.
It was like right when he gets to Ramicus's house, he's like, little brother, and then he starts like harassing him. Like brothers do.
Do you do that to Keaton?
No. But they were just trying to make it funny,
You should.
And he was kind of like, the bigger, burlier bully brother. So
yeah. You should try doing that next time you see Keaton for the first time in a while.
I don't know about that.
Could do a hidden camera and make a TikTok channel.
Yeah, could try, I guess. See if it takes off.
For sure. But yeah, I mean, interesting movie.
Very, very interesting.
There were some things that I thought were weird, like when Ramicus is fighting Lord Tensley, and he has those big magic fists.
Yeah.
It wasn't like bad looking, but it was like out of place looking. They were like so bright green and like very well defined, and they were like, I liked this part.
Yeah. So just furthering on like the wizard's using his magic. He was like giving him wet willies and like, poking him and giving him like Indian burns and stuff like that. But it was, I don't know, that whole scene, it was like, what are we even doing here?
Yeah, and they like climbed all the way up from like the bottom of like a cliff basically to like object to the wedding because his lady is trying to marry Lord Tensley, and they're like related, and it's like a whole thing, and yeah. I mean, he is the one controlling the dragon. Yeah, he is the master of the dragon
because he doesn't like any love anywhere, and he has this creepy crush on his cousin. So he wants to get married to her, and by the end of the movie, the whole point of Ramicus going is he's stopping the wedding and then he gets to hopefully fall in love with Lady Ennegaard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he gets like thrown up to the stars.
Yeah, and then just like slam back down to the earth. And I was just like, man, if that would have happened, I mean, who knows how high he was up in the air, and then the wizard just like, slammed him down. I was like, you would just be like a blood paste on the rock. Like there would be nothing left.
Because he doesn't really die until he gets stabbed. In
Yeah.
D&D, you get 1d6 of damage per 10 feet that you are in the air.
Yeah, he was in the air many tens of feet.
Yeah.
So that would have been unfortunate.
But his brother saves him.
Which I also didn't understand, because all he did was put his engagement ring on his brother.
But they loved each other. I don't know.
That's all it takes?
I guess.
Yeah, and then he was just fine. So,
I was like, oh, okay, sure. Put a
not
ring
really
on my
any
pinky,
consequences.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then they're down there. They're trying to, get Lord Tensley and the dragon, or either of them, and then the lady and a guard commands the dragon to eat the person who.
Well, the Lord asked.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that. Yeah.
To. Well, what does she say? But doesn't she say something to the dragon?
No, not at that time.
Oh, I guess after.
Yeah. I mean, we're probably not doing this. We're probably not making a lot of sense of this plot, because we're jumping all over the place.
Yeah. We just jumped to the end because that was the part I was paying attention to.
Yeah. But he basically is like, he's trying to hype this dragon up. Kills, the one who, the one who poisoned my heart.
Oh yeah, that's it.
And then the dragon kills him.
Yeah, it eats
insinuating that he poisoned his own heart because he's evil.
And then he's a friendly dragon, and Camelon rides him to save his lady. He bites his own talon off for them because they still want to kill him. And Ennegaard's like, no, he's nice. He was just being controlled. And then he renames him. What did he rename him?
Doogie.
Doogie, yeah.
Because it was like a Dorvanog. And
now he's his dragon.
Yeah,
they get married and they ride off on the dragon. Everyone makes out in the middle of town because they're not going to get killed by dragons anymore. And the world is once again filled with love,
Yeah. I think my personal favorite part of this movie was, I don't know, it's probably in like the first third, but Ramachus and the group, they have to go to, like, I don't remember, they were goblins, I think, but there was like a whole horde of goblins that stole Camelon's fiance Lyric, and they were trying to get her back. And he talks just like this, kind of. And that was the part where I could really see they were like parodying off of 300, because the fight scene was so ridiculous and everything was in slow motion, and they were just showing like punches and like, ridiculous face pulls. And I mean, his assistant Samton is like kind of this chunkier guy, and he takes this like essence and he just gets jacked and he just starts beating the crap out of all of them. It's pretty hilarious.
Oh, I really need to rewatch the first half of the movie.
Yeah, I feel like you just didn't even see it.
I think I literally wasn't on my computer or anything. Like, I was like actively trying to watch it. And I think I needed to know that it was supposed to be funny or something. They did that Yoda quote pretty early. I don't know why it didn't like register with me at that point.
Well, he did the little like nipple twister, like,
but I don't even remember that. I literally don't remember seeing that. So like I guess, I mean, we're doing like bad movies on purpose, but they're hard for me to watch, I guess.
Yeah.
But now I'm confused about how I feel about the movie, because if it's a parody, it's kind of funny, like if they're not trying to be serious, like.
Yeah, it kind of makes it hard to judge, because I agree. If it was like a parody and not taking itself seriously, then it kind of is like, okay, it knows what it is, it's not trying too hard. But if it started out as trying hard and it just kind of turned into that, I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. But I mean, there's so many parts and so many jokes in it that made it have to be like
Mhm.
at least a parody in my eyes. But
It won a few film festival awards.
really,
Yeah, it won Best Picture and Best Visual Effects at the 2017 Utah Film Festival.
no,
And it won Best Feature Film at Dragon Con Independent Film Festival, which is, like a D&D con.
yeah, they probably
Dragon
don't have
Con.
very stiff competition for those there, though. I would
Yeah, but
imagine.
I feel like Utah Film Festival, at least like, more competition than like a convention would have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no
I suppose.
Sundance, but Sundance is also in Utah. I feel like Utah is like a big place for film festivals,
Yeah, I guess so. They just know movies there.
Yeah.
What did it win for?
Best Picture and Best Visual. I said that. Best Picture and Best Visual Effects at Utah, and then Best Feature Film at Dragon Con.
I see. So probably not a lot of feature films. Sure, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that one. There's definitely probably more entered into the Utah one. So
yeah. Well, that is interesting. Did it have like any budget or any money that it actually made back?
I couldn't find anything. I tried to search it there, like because I didn't even get the budget on IMDb. I got the budget
from like the director's notes or whatever.
I got it from one of like a Moria science fiction, horror, and fantasy film review website. With that information there, but I couldn't find. But I mean, also if it's crowdfunded, then it's not, like.
Yeah, they're not necessarily going for profit.
But I mean, you can buy the DVD and like stuff, so I'm sure it made like some movie or money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it was at like conventions and they had like movie adjacent items or whatever.
Yeah, I'd be kind of curious to see how it did. I guess you can support the movie if you want. And we watch it on Amazon Prime. It is included.
Yeah. But don't they get like something if it's streamed? I feel like it's not very much. It's like listening to music on Spotify, but
yeah, you can support it and at least watch it once. I mean,
I feel like I need to watch it again.
Yeah, I feel like you at least need to watch the first half again. But I feel like between all the jokes and like the gags and stuff, it's at least kind of entertaining.
Mm-hmm. There's nice muscles.
There are some nice muscles.
Decent muscles.
Yeah, I mean the main character's got a pretty decent build, and Ramicus is a big burly guy. So,
you
get a little bit of that.
He's this one over here.
Yeah,
and if you really like orcs, like if I was like switch back to me, if that's really your thing, you got this hot boy right here.
Hot.
Yeah, dude. So hot.
Eligible bachelor. And it was weird in the movie, like every now and then they would use this weird magical dragonfly as like a hologram protector. And that was Star Wars. I mean, they pulled that
for sure.
Star Wars. And at the end of the movie, when everyone's getting married, and poor little orc Shockdar doesn't have
anyone to make out in the square with.
Mm-hmm. And this little dragonfly comes and shows up, and lo and behold, it's an orc princess that needs help, and he's all raring to go, and that's how the movie ends.
Felt like she was like doing some like sexual movements. I don't know.
Yeah, that whole little exchange at the end, it lasted way too long. They could have done that.
I also thought that the dragonfly was gonna make out with him at first.
Yeah, I couldn't
because it kind of like flew at his face for a second, and then it landed on Ramicus. So I was really confused.
Yeah. When that dragonfly first showed up earlier in the movie, I was like, what the heck?
I didn't even know it was there. So
yeah, that was back when they were first at Ramicus's house as well.
Yeah, really need to rewatch this, I guess.
The whole part I was fuzziest on, I think I figured out, but because when they're just like wanting to get married at the beginning, I was like, why did we end up like, how did we lose her? But it's like the goblins stole her, so that was kind of like the call to action, like go get Ramicus. He can help us fight the goblins and get him back. He's a bounty hunter. And and then it turns into, oh no, now she's hurt by the dragon, and now we need a potion to save her, and now Ramicus needs to go get the dragon and get the girl.
Oh snap!
Yeah,
you always got to get the dragon and the girl, or you're not succeeding.
Yeah, and Ramicus was very, I have no time for love the whole movie. So then, of course, they have to have him with the girl at the end. So
the guy always gets the girl,
Yeah, Ramicus.
Rule number 1: if you write a movie, the guy always gets a girl.
Was there more to that?
Or the guy loses a girl.
Well, that's I mean, those are the two options.
Those are the two options. That is how you get a blockbuster hit, except there's no blockbusters anymore. But
that's it.
But it still stands.
Well, yeah, blockbuster is a term before it was a store.
No, it wasn't. It was a store first.
Oh.
And people liked the store so much that they made it into a big like Hollywood term.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. You need to learn more things, man.
Yeah, I need to learn about the now practically extinct Blockbuster.
Yeah. Is that one in Oregon still open?
I think it is.
Blockbuster, Oregon.
I think at this point it's just open to like have people tour through and visit.
I'm not a robot.
Oh.
Yeah, as of 2022, colloquially known as the last Blockbuster. It is the world's last remaining retail store. And it is,
there you go.
If you want to go, 211 Northeast Revere Avenue, Bend, Oregon.
We drive by it when we go to Brewfest.
You drive past the Blockbuster?
Yeah.
And you've never stopped at it?
No, we've seen it from the road, but I mean, I've been in actual Blockbusters back when they were open. So.
I mean, me too, man. It was like a whole thing. You get a movie, you get some candy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I just didn't really, I guess, see the point to stop there.
It's like reliving your childhood. That's what our podcast is.
Come on. I'll try to go there next time. Jeez.
Yeah.
See what I can do. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So everyone, fly into Portland, take an Uber, go to Bend.
Oh, Portland is like very far from Bend.
Yeah, but where else are you going to fly into? I guess there's probably other airports.
Yeah, there's definitely airports.
Listen, in my brain, but people know where Portland is. So I guess, not that we have listeners, but one day we might have listeners and they might not know where Bend, Oregon is. And even though we have Google, here, airports, Bend, Oregon. Okay. Pilot Butte Airport, Central Oregon taxi and shuttle service. That's not an airport. Why? I don't know why that's there. Okay. Oh, also Roberts Field Airport is the main commercial Bend, Oregon airport. It is located in Redmond, just 16 miles northeast of Bend.
There you go. Nice. Well, that's good to know. So if you had to rate our illustrious movie here, what points would you end up giving it?
I don't know. I'm confused by how I feel. I do have some reviews to read, so maybe I'll do that and then it'll help me decide.
Okay. Let's hear some reviews. Let's hear what
there were the average on IMDb was 4.8, and there were like 1.1 thousand reviews or ratings. There were I didn't write down how many 10-star reviews there were. There were six 1-star reviews. So I have a couple of those.
Only that's 6?
That's not very many.
No, that's pretty good, actually.
Yeah, there were no 5-star reviews, though, because I wanted like a middle ground one. I couldn't find any. So there must have been a lot of like 3s and 7s.
Yeah, polarizing.
Okay. So, 10 out of 10. Sacrificial virgins need love, too.
There's that line.
Yeah. 2 brothers are tasked to kill the Dalvernog, a fire-breathing dragon that kills people who are in love. The brothers are polar opposites. Camelon is a hairless blonde who speaks modified Middle-earth English. He is in love with an elf. A wedding which his parents forbid. Okay, there's a missing word, I feel like. But anyways, Ramachus lacks the social graces, is hairy, has an orc sidekick, and is our voice of modern reason as he questions the ways of the Middle-earth. Camelon has a Samwise sidekick named Samton. The film spoofs Lord of the Rings as well as a few scenes from Titanic and Star Wars. The names of the individuals were a laugh, and indeed I was howling as the film began. Unfortunately, like all satires of the genre, the comedy drops off as there seems to be a need to front-load all the good material. Unlike Lord of the Rings, this is almost entirely filmed in front of a green screen with fake backgrounds, making this look like a Western or 50s films. I did notice that.
Yeah, you do.
Because it kind of makes the lighting and stuff look weird.
Yeah, everything like super bright and vibrant. And you're like, yeah, this is not real.
Yeah. Considering this is a spoof, that is not a bad thing. One of the better Lord of the Rings spoofs. I liked it more than overly crude, Your Highness.
I do not know what Your Highness is, but noted.
Me either, but it's overly crude, so that means we should watch it.
Ooh.
Okay, second 10 out of 10 review that I picked. So many great laughs. I saw this at Dragon Con and have been looking forward to watching it again ever since. This isn't a movie to watch all alone on your computer. It's a movie to invite a bunch of like-minded fantasy film fans over to watch while playing drinking games. Fantasy tropes abound, as well as out-and-out spoofs of films you should know and probably do. It's an indie film, not a big budget affair, but if you are a fan of indies, this one is worth your while. Name that original and have a great time.
That is true. You could name like the references, and I feel like that movie would be pretty funny if you were a little buzzed.
Yeah, let's make all of our friends watch it sometime and do like a drinking game.
It could be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Shine will be on board, but
well,
we'll get him.
Everyone but her, I guess. Okay, so then I got a couple 1-star reviews, and let's start with this one because it's definitely the opposite of the one I just read. By far the worst movie I have ever seen. I don't know what Dragon Con is, but if this won the Best Film Award, I couldn't imagine how horrible the ones that didn't win are. Was Dragon Con created by the same people as the movie? I can't wrap my head around the fact that anyone ever has the slightest interest in this crap. I have never commented on anything on IMDb and went out of my way to write this in hopes that someone doesn't accidentally cross paths with this shit and ruin their day like mine was. Absolutely no comedy at all, not even one slight attempt at a dad joke or nothing, and the worst acting I have ever encountered. If I ever decide to go on a killing spree, this person has so many typos because this says defiantly. It'll definitely start with the people that made this and the ones who gave good reviews. There's no question. I will go down in history as a hero. I know shit 100% canceled my Showtime subscription because of this. Who the fuck allowed this to happen? Showtime has gone to shit, and this was the fly on the pile for me. What TF has happened to America? I can usually find something entertaining in any movie, but fuck me, this was bad. Really bad. I'm going to take 2 showers and God knows what kind of drugs to try to erase this crap out of my brain. I haven't drank in 2 months until about 8 minutes into this. I had a feeling it was a good time to start erasing my memory, but it was too late already. I've never cut a movie short because I think it's only fair to watch the whole thing before I form my opinion, but this one made me rethink my entire life. It literally hurt to watch. I got a headache and the worst anxiety to the point I almost threw up. I'm so baffled that these people still have jobs. This is bad. If any suicide bombers are looking for some work, I would suggest a visit to the fat, nasty neckbeard's garage studio that made this. Maybe we cut that part out. I don't know.
Jeez, this guy's got some irrational anger.
Yeah. I would imagine the only good thing to ever come out of that studio will be the shredded body parts of its employees in a glorious blast of entertainment justice. I would rather watch my mom drown in mayonnaise than to even know this exists. Stop making movies. Seriously, please just stop.
Why mayonnaise?
0 out of 12 found this helpful.
I'll make it 0 out of 14 because that was a little ridiculous.
Yeah, and I feel like even I just so the
dude has no chill.
Yeah, and doesn't understand that they're word jokes. Like this person is not smart.
No. There were a lot of like goofy jokes, actually.
Yeah, I'm just concerned for that person's well-being, I guess, and maybe the rest of the world.
No kidding. Watch out for any animals disappearing in your area.
Yeah. So Pierce Jeremy L. I feel like this guy's name is Jeremy L. Pierce. So if you know one of those guys, maybe steer clear. You know,
maybe like check in on him, make sure he's all right.
That's literally the only review he has.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, you did it.
So he didn't like it. That's a hard no.
I'd say so.
I've got one more 1-star.
Okay.
I didn't read that whole one that I just read, or else I would have maybe not read the whole thing. This one's much shorter. How the hell can anyone like this? 4 question marks. There is something very wrong with the peeps that gave this movie a good review. I mean, the story is totally stupid and the actors is bad and they sound like they are reading when they are talking. Okay, time out. When people call other people stupid and then don't use capital letters and wrong grammar, I just
wrong verb tenses
I
and
just
stuff.
have an issue with that. Okay. There is noting instead of nothing. And I mean nothing good about this crap at all. Are you getting paid to give this crap fest of a movie a good review? Or are your taste really that bad? If so, wow, why is everyone so mean? If so, please go and do something to yourself. I'm not going to read that part.
Welcome to the internet.
And never ever do a review ever again.
Wow.
This really was one of the crappiest movies I have ever seen. I can't freaking believe it. Please grow a brain before you idiots learn how to type. Will work out better for everyone. 7 out of 45 found this helpful.
Well, he might need to learn how to type himself, it sounds like.
Yeah. So I feel like the people who gave it a bad rating just didn't understand what the movie was.
Yeah, they clearly didn't get it because that first one said there's no humor. Well, there's definitely humor. They're poking fun at themselves and the acting. They're poking fun at on their own.
Confused because, like, I mean, I'm not even like I just watched Star Wars for the first time like a year and a half ago, and I caught the like Star Wars reference like so easy. Thing. So like, are these people like? Because what type of person is going to watch a movie that looks like this called Dudes and Dragons? First of all, if you just look at the name and watch the trailer, you kind of know it's not super serious. And also, like, if you're not into fantasy, like, how could you not get the references? Like, you would have had to have not watched, like, literally any popular movies to not understand, like, the movie. So I'm just confused about who these people are, like, why they were watching the movie, how they don't understand any of the references. Like, I just don't get it.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of, basement movie critics and people that like to be overly critical on things, I guess.
And angry. These are some angry boys.
Watch his mother drown in mayonnaise.
Yeah. And I don't think he means patty mayonnaise.
No.
From Doug.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
But as also a person, you can't drown in a person.
I'm sure you can. You can drown in like this much liquid, and the human body is like mostly liquid.
But you're gonna be inside of it.
There's always a way, Oh,
all right, fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess if it is like a parody, I feel like it's pretty good. Like, it's like bad in a it's supposed to be funny way.
Yeah.
Which I think means that it needs to be a little bit higher than Dune. So maybe like an 8.5 or a 9.
Oh my god!
I gave Dune an 8 out of a 10 because it was so bad you had to. Yes, because it was so bad you had to watch it. No, wait, not Dune. Was that what did I give Dune? I mean, the Dungeons and Dragons movie. I gave it an 8 out of a 10 because it was so bad you had to watch it.
That's so ridiculous. What did I give that? Like a 1.5?
Something like that, man. Hey, if you're here and you haven't checked out our like 2 blog posts. Go read through our ratings and reviews.
Various reasons. I mean, I agree with your thinking that it is definitely better than the Dungeons and Dragons movie because that one, I think they were trying to be like serious and it just didn't work. This one, they figured it out. They might have started serious and then like, okay, this is
it's hard to know too.
Yeah, we're just goofing off now and throwing jokes at each other. And I mean, whoever edited the movie had to have edited like a parody because all of those slow motion things and like the ridiculousness that there's no way they could have done that seriously.
But also the thing is that the way it's filmed, it could be easy to go back and add.
That is true.
Some of those jokes
just cut it back in. You could have added just that whole first scene afterwards and just called it good. But I guess knowing that, I didn't think the acting, it's clearly not A-list actors, but I mean, they're better than some that I've seen, and they appeared to have a good time, and it was goofy. I enjoyed the jokes and the little spoof parody moments. So I would probably have to give it like a 3. Wow. Maybe a 3.5.
You're harsh. You don't ask Scott for feedback.
I mean, what are you I'm rating a movie, they're all rated the same.
That's lower than the average. Well, okay, so then what do you think is a good movie?
Wait, what do you mean? Like,
Well, you asked me what I thought a good movie was.
yeah,
So what do you think is a good movie?
I mean, The Godfather, Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, that is pretty good. I just watched it for the first time. I don't know if I've ever
Yeah,
seen The Godfather though.
Godfather is great. Goodfellas is great. There's so many movies that are just amazing. I mean, Gladiator's probably generally like a 7
Well,
or an
I
8.
think that all of the good movies are probably between an 11 and a 15 out of 10.
But that doesn't make sense.
But it does
you're
for me.
you're taking the power away from the 10. You know what I mean?
But who created the 1 through 10 scale because they arbitrarily gave 10 power. Maybe 10 doesn't deserve power.
So you're giving 15 power.
Yeah.
So you would rate this movie a 50%, an F.
No, because if we're gonna go out of the scale of no, yeah, I would. That's
So it's still
that's
bad.
still higher than a 30%.
But still bad. Is
Okay.
the point I'm making.
Well, if we're gonna do a 15-point scale, no, wait. It's still an 80%. If a movie is a 15 out of 10, it's 150%.
But that's not a thing.
It is for me.
Okay. I mean, I'm giving you realistic stuff. In my comments, if we update the blog post, I'll put, worth a watch.
So this is what
laughs,
I think we should
parody.
do in this next month. We make a drinking game for this movie and we post it on our blog and we make our friends do it.
We could give that a shot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have some good times. Drink whenever there's like a parody moment. If you can identify like the movie, you have someone drink or something.
If you can't identify it, then you get iced.
Oh wow. Well, that's pretty extreme. I know. You're getting iced like every 30 seconds. Like, you have one. Being Oprah out here.
Who do you think in our friend group would be the worst at that drinking game?
So I guess if you're just referring to like picking out references, probably Dakota. I mean, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of those movies she hasn't seen.
That's true, because she just watches a lot of like anime and stuff.
Yeah,
but she is watching Fantasy High, so
yeah. Keaton's picked out a lot. Jackie knows like all kinds of movies. I don't know how Ian would be, but he'd probably be
sometimes surprising, but sometimes not.
He would definitely know like the the obvious like Star Wars.
That sounds bad, but
yeah, calling him out.
I would be really good at a musical drinking game.
A musical?
No, like I mean not musicals. I mean like a music drinking game.
Oh, okay. Like name the tune or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Or like sing some of the lyrics,
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Because we all know that I'm good with the lyrics, making all them song references all the time, whatnot.
Oh, snap. All right. Well, I guess we've kind of gone through it.
That I wrote a quiz, but
clear as mud.
It's really easy, and I think you're going to get 100%.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. The first question is probably the hardest. What two rewind. Yeah. What two film festivals did Dudes and Dragons win awards at?
So it was Dragon Con and the Utah Film Festival.
Look at that. Okay, This is going to be easy, smooth sailing here. What was the budget?
Like $216,000.
What famous character? What
does my quiz say?
What is one of the famous characters that is quoted?
Oh, well, Yoda.
Yeah, that was King what I was Leonidas. Going for, but I didn't phrase my question very good.
Yeah.
What was the original title?
Dragon Warrior.
And how were Lord Tensley and Lady Enogard related?
They were cousins.
Yeah. And did you he looked directly at the camera or something and was like, it's okay in some cultures.
Yeah. Well, that was another part that was definitely not taking itself seriously because he's infatuated with his cousin, wants to get married. And she's just like, we're blood. We can't do that. And he's like, it's perfectly normal in some cultures. So it's okay, dude.
It was really funny. I thought.
It's worth a laugh.
But yeah, I recommend that if you like all of those movies and you think that parodies are funny, you should watch it.
Yeah, like I said, it's definitely worth the watch. Gives yourself a giggle.
Yeah, ask for 5 more minutes. Be like, Mom, I can't go to bed until I watch this guy run in slow motion like Yasmine Bleeth over and over and over again.
I will say the movie was a little long. It was almost 2 hours.
Yeah. I think the runtime. Oh, the IMDb time is longer than what the runtime was, because I think the runtime was like 153 on Amazon, but on the
Yeah.
IMDb it says like 2 hours and 2 minutes or something.
It must have had like a longer credit sequence or something.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But anyways, check it out.
Drag a little bit. Yeah, check it out though. Good time. Good time. Let us know what you think about it, and if you would give it an 8 or a 3.
Or a 15 out of 10.
Sure.
Yeah. It's somewhere around there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it falls in the spectrum.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so did we decide that we're taking a month off?
I don't think we've really decided or talked about it, so I'm just along for the ride.
Oh, that's a good partnership to have.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean.
I know, but the way that you said it was just funny.
Yeah.
We might be taking a month off.
Yes.
To get ahead, to redo some logistics, to figure out what you all want from us. So send us emails. And also, Greta, are you still out there?
Greta, are you still out there? Do you guys want like seasons? Do we want like seasons of maybe I just do the next 5 episodes on just Attack on Titan and we like get through most of it instead of, we like variety, but when we do Dragon Ball, I've done like 3 now, and we do it like, like every 6 or 8 episodes. Like, is it too hard to follow? Or...
Yeah, see, this is why we have an email address, and it is 5FIBE more minutes pod@gmail.com. So you can let us know, give us the feedback.
Yeah. Give us the feedback. Because if we were to do something like that, we could be a little more focused for you. We could have a little bit more like, like Kendra's got her cool green screen. Maybe I could do stuff specifically just for the topics that I'm on.
Yeah, Scott can get a green screen. A green screen. I
green
can't
screen
speak today. I didn't even have to work, and I can't talk.
You didn't use the voice enough. That's why.
Yeah, that's true. But anyways, so let us know. We're gonna, just we've got jobs and we're busy people, so we're gonna take a month off. But also probably still be recording. So let us know. And we're gonna keep posting all that old stuff that we haven't posted, because I make extra reels that don't get posted each week on our social medias that you can follow. They're all at 5MMPOD on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. But if you really want to talk to Scott, then use the TikToks. The Twitters. Wow. I'm having a hard time.
Yep.
But yeah, because there's definitely some funny things that I just haven't had time to post all the reels of. So we can go back through, and that's going to be a lot of work for me to figure out what I've already posted. But
same. We'll done, what I should have been doing was putting all those in a folder that have already been done. But yeah.
Oh. Yeah, it's fun. Anyways, there'll be new content. We'll make a drinking game. Maybe we'll make multiple drinking games, because we like to drink. And we like games, and we like watching things. And those are the 3 main components of drinking games. Yeah,
I mean, we'll craft some drinking games, and then you guys can try them out.
Yeah, so follow us on all those places. Send us email. Share us with your friends and family. Your family who are your friends, and your friends who are more like family than your family is. I messed up, but you get it. It wasn't as smooth as normal. I haven't done it in a couple weeks. Scott did it last week, so
yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to NADPOD Live this weekend, so maybe we'll do a review on that.
Yeah, do a little recap of a live podcast. That's always fun.
Yeah, special guest star Zach Oyama's going to be there too, so I'm pumped. Pump it up. PUMP. Pump it up.
Okay.
And I think it's time to sign off.
Yeah, I guess other than that, we'll clock off. We appreciate you guys making it this far, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Peace out.
See you.
Bye.